Ableton Move is finally here, but is it something that you actually need? Or is it going to be another one of those devices sitting on the shelf collecting dust? In this video today, I'm going to break down everything you need to know before you spend your money. Now, I've been using the Push in Ableton Live for the past 10 years, and I also teach it at several universities across London. So you could say I'm a bit of an Ableton fanboy, and I'm super excited to check out Move today. If you're new to the channel, I've done a lot of videos reviewing the Push 3, and the main thing for me that it was lacking was portability. I love the idea of making music away from the computer, so the Push 3 standalone was so exciting to me. And the idea that Ableton would someday bring out like a mini Push or a hardware version of Note was a dream. And maybe, just maybe, Move is the answer we've been waiting for. So what is Move? Move is essentially a hardware version of the Ableton Live Note app, more than a Push 3. The idea of Note and Push were conceived and built from the ground up together with the idea of creating devices for spontaneous creation. And they both focus on limitations. And with its limitations and its simplicity, it's really easy to come up with ideas very quickly, even if you're not an avid Ableton Live user. Ableton Live to new people can seem a bit complex and daunting. So the aim of Move is to break down that initial creation barrier with a more simplistic device, which you then can upload to Ableton Live Cloud and further expand your idea in Ableton Live, or chuck it onto the Push 3 and expand it there too. And also, let's look at some of its key features. So it's a standalone portable device. The battery has about 4 hours of runtime. Also, it has about 64 gig of memory. I think 50 gig of that is for you. The other, was that 14 gig is for all the stuff that comes as default in it. It features 4 tracks, which can be used as drum or a synth or the built-in sampler. Now, sampling on this thing is going to be really cool because it has a built-in microphone and it also has a line input so you can record from your phone, but you can also have it out and about and capturing things on the go, a bit like the Note app. This was a great feature on the Note app. Now it's been put into this hardware, which is fantastic. On the synth side, it comes with Drift, Wavetable, the new drum sampler, which is in 12.1, which was also released today. Yay! It's like Ableton Christmas here, guys. And it comes with some effects such as reverb, delay, saturation, and the compressor. So not an amazing amount of instruments to choose from. Again, the idea behind this device is the limitations and the idea generation rather than all the complexities of Ableton Live. Now, another really cool thing about Move is the sound design. They've focused on classic sounds to get you up and running straight away. They have classic sounds such as 303 basses, 808s, and Reese basses. Now, if you're an Ableton Live user, you'll know some of the presets are, well, let's say a little bit fruity. It's quite hard to find a decent basic sound. And if you're not an Ableton Live user, this can be quite off-putting. So they've taken this in mind and they've made some really usable basic sounds to get those ideas started. So then you can, like I say, go and export into Live and get all complex and crazy later. It has built-in Wi-Fi, so you can transfer the project you make on Move into Live. Now, you can't do that from Live back into Move. That's because you can't do all the complex things you can do in Live in Move. That's where the Push 3 comes in. Also, there will be cloud transfer directly to the Push. As I understand it, that's not going to be in the first instance of the firmware. That will be an update coming soon. So 32 pads with polyphonic aftertouch, no MPE. I know a lot of people were hoping for MPE. I guess that doesn't lean into the ethos of it being a simple sketch pad, and that's where the Push 3 would come in and you'd look at doing all that MPE stuff once you get on the Push. Ableton Link, so we can connect it to Push and Live and keep it all nice and sync. You can also control Live. So this is going to be like a mini compact Push 2, essentially, which would be super fun. I'm really excited to try that out. So let's talk about the portability and the size and the weight of the thing. There's no specs on the weight yet, but the size is pretty small, which is great. It's 313.5 millimeters. So that's about just over the size of a standard ruler. And then the width is 146 millimeters, 0.3. Height is only 34 millimeters. So that's very small. It's a very compact device. And here you can see the connections on the back are very limited also. The price, I think, is quite reasonable for all the features. I know with the Push 3, that was something of a, I don't know, a sore point with the standalone. We're nearly at $2,000. That's a big, big investment for someone who's not really into Ableton Live and would like to try it out and have a portable device. So that's where Move comes in. You know, you've got a reasonable price point, which is $399. And when you compare that to devices such as the OP1 and Electron boxes, it's pretty reasonable. And also this is shipping today, so it's out today. You can see there's a buy now button, so you can go and grab it. My final thoughts. Okay, so I'm super excited about this device. I'm sold. I have brought it. It's in the post. It's coming in a couple of days, hopefully. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because I'll be doing a full review of it, unboxing it, and getting my hands dirty with it. But I'm super excited. I really like this idea of creating the idea away from the computer. Having this sense of play installed in music, I think, is essential. If you're anything like me, if I'm sat in front of the computer, it's great for producing, but I find it very hard to come up with the ideas. I've always gravitated to devices by Electron and synths and got a bunch of modular stuff in the background. I like playing the music, then refining it in Ableton. I think essentially with music production, we have 3 stages. We have the idea and creation stage, then we have the producing, arranging stage, and then the final mixing and mastering. And for that creation stage, I really like being outside of the computer. Then there's always the problem of getting the stuff into the computer. That's where, you know, as soon as the Push 3 came out, sold, I got it. I love this idea of having a box that I could be away from live, standalone, amazing. But as I've said before, my problem with it was it wasn't really that portable. It's big, it's heavy, it gets hot. You can't just whip it out on the tube and make a beat. And also I love Note. Note is a great app. I made music straight away with it. It was very spontaneous. And I think that was due to its limitations. So I'm very excited to hear that basically Ableton have created a hardware version of the Note app, which is inspired by the Push with sampler. Oh, it's all these cool things. I can't wait to get it. I'd love to know what you guys think. Are you excited about this? Or do you think it's going to be another synth that ends up on the shelf collecting dust? Anyway, leave a comment below. Would love to know your thoughts. And if you are thinking about getting the Ableton Live Move, thinking of trying before you buy, grab the Note app. It's £6 from the iOS store. Have a little play with it. See if it's for you. If you want to know how to use it, I have a video here that shows you how to use Ableton Note.